Welcome to part 2 of Competency 11. In this video, we will answer questions involving surface area of 3D figures. In this video, we need to focus on these two three-dimensional shapes. That would be the pyramid and the cone. And the main reason that I say that is, one, the surface area formulas, especially for the pyramid, are going to vary from other resources. Well, for some resources, it may be the same. And you're not going to get a clear formula on the formula sheet that's given to you, either for a practice test at the university or the actual TExES. Number one, the volume of a cube is 500 inches to the cubic. What is the surface area? Okay, well, that's not tough. Let's see here. So we know that the surface area of a cube is 6 faces. It has 6 sides, and each side is S times S. Okay? But we need to find out what S is. Well, the volume is side times side times side. Well, that would be 3 S to the third, okay, to the third power. So we just go backwards, okay? So S would equal under the cube root 500, okay? Now, if we put that in the calculator, we will get a decimal. Well, our best bet here is to leave that as is, okay? So make it simple, then we'll put it all in the calculator at once, which would be 6 in parentheses, we have the cube root of 500, close the parentheses and square it, okay? And we'll just put that in the calculator as is. 6 parentheses, second. Oh, what am I doing? No, we want 6 parentheses, alpha window, number 6, okay? Cube root, arrow back, 500, arrow over, parentheses, okay? And then push x squared, all right? And we push enter. And that gives us the value we need. Now, if you didn't see what I did, I'm going to do it again. I kind of went fast. You want alpha, window, and you go down, and there's all those nice and handy items, and I see a bunch we're going to use along the way. There's number 6. See it? It has X root. Well, that's what we want. We want number 6. See? And that's going to give us what we need. All right. Okay, let's go to number 3. Okay. And it says, what is the surface area in inches of the rectangular prism whose dimensions are 9 inches, 2 feet, and 1 yard? Okay, well, this is 9 inches, but they want the whole thing to be in inches. Okay, so that's already what we need. But 2 feet is 24 inches. Okay, and then 1 yard, of course, is 36 inches. Now we just need to create an equation we can put in the calculator. All right, so we have surface area equals. Okay, we have 2. Okay, I'm going to do 24 here. And, okay, that'll get us, let's see, 24. Yep, we're good. And remember that we also have 9 up here and 36 here. So it's in pairs. So you have top and bottom, side and side, back and front. Okay, so I need 2 times 224 times 36. Okay, that is these 2 right here. And I have 2 of them. Okay, then I add to that 2 times. Now I can use these 2. That's the sides. So that gets me 9 times 24. And then I add That's back, front, side, side. Now we need top and bottom. Uh-oh. I wrote something. Okay. 2. And that gets me 9 times 36. Let's double check that. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to color code it. And we circled. Okay. Now that lets us see what we need. 9 and 36. 9 and 24. Uh-oh. Yeah. I knew I did something incorrectly. I just knew it. 36, and we add that. Now we can put in the calculator. Okay. But notice that each of these, they're really just multiplied all together. Okay. So I know that you could put those in the calculator, and I do believe the calculator, in fact, I'm sure it can read the order of operations, but I'm going to do them separately so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so parentheses. 2 times 24 times 36, close parentheses, plus parentheses. 2 times 9 times 24, close the parentheses, plus parentheses. 2 times 9 times 36, close parentheses, okay? And you can go back over those and double check, make sure you've entered them correctly, and then push enter. And yes, that is the value that we are looking for, okay? All right. Number 3. All right. What is the total surface area if the lateral height is 7? That would be this right here. That's my lateral height. And the area of the base is 64. Now, I know that we will need the length of this base. So that tells me if I square it, 8 times 8 is 64. So that is a square regular pyramid. They don't say it in this question. However, it's implied by giving you the value of 64. Honestly, I see this type of question being with the figure being given to you on practice test is at the university, which I've seen before. But honestly, I do not think that the state of Texas would do that to you. I think that they would give you all the information and make it clear. Actually, what they would do is they would add the name of the figure and call it a regular pyramid, a regular square pyramid. That's what they would do. They would be specific. Okay, here you're kind of making assumptions, but it'll be an okay assumption. All right, so now what do we do? Okay, they want to know what is the total lateral surface. Okay, so what do we do here? So we have surface area. So when I say lateral, that is the pink part. Okay, plus the bottom purple bluish color, which they gave us. So we have 64 plus. Now there are 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. So I have 4 of them. And that's base times height divided by 2. So that is 7 times 8. Divide that by 2. And we put all that in the calculator and we get an answer. Okay? So that's 64 plus, and we have 4 lateral all the way around. We have 4 sides. That's the lateral part. Okay? And parentheses. And 7 times 8 divided by the 2, close my parentheses, push enter, and yes, that is the correct value. Okay, all right, let's go to number 4. Number 4, what is the total surface area of the cylinder with radius of 10 and height of 18? Okay, so because we want surface area, I sketched out what the net of a cylinder would be. So when we're talking surface area of a cylinder, we're talking about the lateral rectangle and the top and bottom, which are 2 circles. Okay, so what do we have? Now, on your formula chart that they will give you, They give you the area of a circle, the circumference of a circle, and they put that to, well, actually, no, they give you this rectangle here, which is the circumference of the circle times height. Okay, because this part of the rectangle and this part of the rectangle have to wrap around those two circles. Okay, all right, so what do we have? We have 2r pi, 2 times r times pi times the height. That's your rectangle. All right, so, and we know what the circles are, so let's write it all out. Okay, so surface area needs to be, well, let's get the two circle areas. So that's 2 times pi r squared, got to multiply all that together, and we're going to add that to the area of the rectangle, which is the 2 times r times height times pi. We really need pi kind of hanging out on the end. Okay, so let's put our values in. 2 times, oh, I did it right, 10, and then times pi hanging out on the end, then plus 2 times the 10 times 18 times pi. Okay, when we put this in the calculator, put in the number values, which we could call a coefficient if we're considering pi to be a variable, okay? So let's put that in the calculator and see what we come out with. And pi will be hanging on at the end. And I'm saying that because if you look at our answer options, pi is, well, everything's in terms of pi. Okay, so let's do this. Let's say parentheses 2 times 10 to the second power, close parentheses, plus parentheses 2 times 10 times 18, close them. Okay, now, before I push enter, yes, it is true that for this situation, you do not need the parentheses. I'm using it to show you what I'm doing, okay? And I hesitate not using parentheses when I can because then I don't have to think so hard about order of operations. Okay, let's push enter, and that is our value, 560 in terms of pi. Okay, now let's go to number 5. Okay. What is the total surface area of a cone with radius equal 8 and height equal 15? Okay. Now, there's a lot going on here. Okay, because for this shape, we have this, and we have a circle, and then we're going to call this L. Okay. All right. For that lateral height. All right. So, this doesn't exactly calculate like the cylinder does. It is related to the cylinder in many ways. And I'm not going to go through all the formula and how to get it, kind of waste your time. And it is not on your formula sheet, so you know. So what do we have? We have surface area equals, okay? We need the circle, we know that. We know that that's going to be the pi r squared. Now we need to add this lateral part. Well, that is radius pi and this L, okay? Now, how do you find L? Well, that's why they tell you that you have a right angle, because this is also L. And L we get by saying L equals under the square root, that's r squared plus height squared, okay? All right, so we can just write all this out and then put it in the calculator and not have to struggle over it. So this for us will equal what our radius is 8 squared, pi's hanging around, plus our r is 8, radius 8, height 15, and let's leave pi hanging around. Uh-oh, that's not our L. Oh my gosh, what did I just do? I need L. Oh, no, 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 no. That was not right. Okay, times under the square root. Then with pi hanging around. Wow, can't believe I just did that. Okay, that is 8 squared. Plus, this is the way you need to have your radius and your height, okay? And let's see, that's 15 squared. There we go. That looks a lot better. Okay. All right. Well, let's put that. Remember, pi is hanging around. So let's put this in the calculator. So we have 8 squared plus, okay, 8 times under the square root, and that is, again, 8 squared plus 15 squared. All right, and that's all we have to do. Double check it, make sure it's correct, push enter, and that is correct, which would be option B. Great, okay. All right. Now, if you're still a little shaky on the surface area of a cone and the area of a cone, uh, that is something, if I were you, I would go look that up and watch a few good videos before I take the test. Okay. For a certain sphere, the numerical value of the volume is 5 times the numerical value of the surface area. Okay. What is the size of the radius? Okay, so what do we really have? We have 5 times the surface area equals volume. Okay. Well, let's just fill all that in as we know. Okay. All right. So we have 5 times, okay, surface area of a sphere is 4r squared pi, and that is all equal to 4 pi r to the third all over 3. Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, so what do we need to do? Well, go through the motions and solve for r. And it actually turns out being pretty simple. Okay, and it'll make sense. All right, so the first thing we need to do is we need to multiply both sides times 3. Okay, and then what's actually going to happen? This is canceled out. That's canceled out. Okay, now I can rewrite. What do I really have? Well, it looks like to me that I have on one side, I'll just spell it out for you and then we'll put it in the calculator. 3 times 5 times 4, r squared with the pi. Okay? All right, so I would put all these together. And that equals 4 pi r to the third power. Okay, you know what? I'm seeing some things. You know what? I would divide both sides by r squared. Oh, actually, could I not get rid of this parentheses right here and this parentheses? Then I could divide both sides by 4r squared pi. And this side I could divide by 4 pi r squared. See what I did? Still the same thing. Now what happens? Well, this cancels. This cancels, that cancels. Now what happens here? Well, you use your rules. Use your rule of exponents. Well, that's 3 minus 2 is 1, so you end up with r. And then 3 times 5 is 15. So yes, the value of r is actually 15. Okay, that is the last question for this particular video. And again, thank you for watching. Thank you for putting up with me. And I really, really hope that this is helping somebody out there. That's my hope. So if you feel like we've helped you or you just like watching the videos, could you please share us, give us a like somewhere on maybe your favorite video, and subscribe. Oh, and if you share, maybe somebody you know will also give us a subscription, and that would be absolutely fabulous. And again, happy testing.